Hey, what's going on? Luke here, and we're here to do my tips and predictions for Game 2 of the 2023 State of Origin Series. And we're doing it very, very early on, just like I did for Game 1. Now, actually, speaking of Game 1, I did the prediction. I think I predicted New South Wales. Latrobe got ruled out. I changed my mind. Obviously, you go into the game, and I feel like no matter who you support, whether it's in NRL, whether it's, reserve grade, local footy, whatever, even if you have some sort of idea of like, I don't think my team can win, as soon as the game starts, you immediately sort of get suckered in and you go, oh my God, this team can actually win. And that's exactly what happened with New South Wales. Going into the game, like I know in the video, I initially said that New South Wales would win. Latrobe got ruled out. I thought New South Wales no chance. Then when the game started, I thought New South Wales looking alrighty. We might be able to get the job done. I was feeling quietly confident. Obviously, Queensland came out, got the job done, and honestly, I think they're going to get the job done again in Game 2. I think they'll win pretty well in front of a home crowd. So I guess that kind of spoils who I think is going to win. But just to speaking of the game, just in general, I feel like this is going to be a pretty entertaining game. I think New South Wales actually put up a pretty decent fight. I don't think it's going to be a cakewalk for Queensland by any means. I think Queensland have a much better side on paper. And I feel like a lot of the times we don't generally, at least not since like all the big guns, in terms of the run of what was 8-9 in a row, whatever it was. In terms of that run, obviously Queensland had the better side on paper. But after that, it's sort of all been New South Wales despite not always getting the results. But for this one, I think Queensland have the much better side. Like, honestly, I rate that side. They are strong all over the park. There's not really any weak points. They've got great attack. They've got great defense. Halves are strong. The spine is strong in general. The bench is very, very strong. Whereas New South Wales, there's a lot of question marks over the side. Look, there's so much controversy at the moment. I did a video yesterday talking about, just how they didn't get the team right. And that's my honest opinion. If you want a more in-depth sort of look at the New South Wales side, you can go ahead and watch yesterday's video. But the general consensus from me and from a lot of people is that they didn't get the side right. And there's a lot of players who can find themselves unlucky to not be in the side, and not just Nico Hines. Like, I know the big talk at the moment is Nico Hines and whether he should have been in the side and whether he shouldn't. I don't even know if he's like the biggest worry for New South Wales. Obviously, like Mitchell Moses is a great player. He can come in, he can do a job. Jerome Luai was a guy who was talked about as being lucky to have made the game one side, and then all of a sudden Nathan Cleary goes down, which you'd think, oh, well, he's getting picked based on a club combination. Like, is he going to get dropped? They're going to go Cody Walker? No, Jerome Luai, after all of the talk about him, maybe getting dropped, he's the one guy who gets picked. Just not a lot of things that are, you kind of understand with Brad Fittler. There's not a lot of logic about it, and that was a big thing that I kept saying in yesterday's video, was that there's not a lot of logic in the New South Wales side. Whereas Queensland, for me, they pick a well-rounded side. They pick a side that seems to flow together, that works together. They don't necessarily pick guys who play with each other week in, week out at club level. They pick guys who they go like, all right, well, he's got good defense. This guy's a good attacker. We're picking a guy in the centers. He's not necessarily a center. Let's put a strong defender with him. Whereas New South Wales just go, all right, young fella, he's doing well. Let's chuck in Hudson Young. Let's get him in there. Let's throw out every other name. Let's just chuck him in there. Let's chuck Hudson Young in there, no pun intended. But I've started to get on a little bit of a tangent about New South Wales side. I don't want to do that. Like I said, if you want to see me do that, go and check out yesterday's video. But look, like I said, Queensland have the much better side on paper. Therefore, I think they're going to win, because I think you have the Queensland spirit, and I hate saying that, but I think at the moment, like, the spirit, the cohesion is probably the better word. I don't even know if it's like spirit or like motivation or anything like that. I just feel like Queensland play with a lot more cohesion, and I think that gets the job done at Origin level. They actually go out there and look like they've played together, and a lot of times they have played together for many years. Even though they've had players sort of come in and out of the system, they've had a lot of guys in the spine who've been there. Look at Daly Cherry Evans; he's been there for a long, long time. So when they've sort of been swapping and changing, Munster's another one. I don't know why I didn't mention Munster, but Munster and Cherry Evans have been the staples of the side. They've tried other guys here and there, but I think Ben Hunt's been around for the Queensland side for quite some time. Even Harry Grant's been around there for a couple of years. Obviously, Reece Walsh is the new guy who's come onto the scene, but it's just like adding an extra guy into an already established sort of system. New South Wales going with a complete new look side. I don't particularly like it. Again, I'm touching on it again, but just in terms of the matchups, you have Walsh up against Tedesco. A couple of years ago, or even at the start of the season, I would have said that's an easy dub for James Tedesco. But here he is, sort of fighting for his Origin career. And hey, this could be one of the last times you see James Tedesco in a sky blue jersey. And I bloody hope they wear the sky blue jersey, I'm telling you that. But yeah, going up to Suncorp, taking on Queensland in front of Queensland in a must-win game. I don't like the chances. I don't like the odds. I'd say the bookmakers probably have Queensland as heavy favourites, and so they should. Everything screams a Queensland win. If New South Wales to come out and actually win this one, it's going to be very, very Queensland-like, and it's so ironic that that has to be the case. But if New South Wales are to get the job done, it's going to be a Queensland-like effort, and it pains me to sit here and say that we're going to have to play like Queensland to beat Queensland in Queensland, but that's just the honest truth. Now, Latrell comes back into the side, and I don't want to understate how influential Latrell is. Like I literally said at the start of the video, I picked New South Wales purely on Latrell and Tommy being in the side, and that was with Tommy not really fit. Whereas Tommy's come back, he played absolutely fantastic this previous game for Manly. He's back in the centres. You got Latrell coming back in. I think Stephen Crichton, he was okay in game 1, but you just take out that threat of Latrell Mitchell there. He's a guy who you can just give him the ball and he can literally just barge his way over, which then creates a lot more space on the other side for Tommy. So it kind of works hand in hand. I feel like just having one of them in there, it's sort of, not that it doesn't work, but it's just not as effective. You need both of them in there to sort of get the real sort of impact from them, because they both sort of flow off each other. And we've seen in previous years when they've played together, they've even linked up together with Tedesco and all that sort of stuff. I do like that element of the New South Wales side, and that's something that I think kind of picks itself. And I'm glad they kept the Fox. There's a bit of talk about, whether the Fox should have got dropped and all that sort of stuff. But I think you give it a go. You got to give Latrell and him a chance to work together. It's something they haven't been able to do for a couple of years now. So let's get the gang back together and see if they can, sort of get something going. I don't know if Jerome Luai is going to be able to do anything. I mean, I actually thought he was pretty good in game 1. Maybe him with Latrell and Foxy out in the wing there. Maybe they'll have a nice little combo. I'm not really sure, but Mitchell Moses is going to be the interesting one. He's obviously going to be the one who's targeted. But I will say, kicking game is very good. If there's someone that they want to replace for like a like for like with Nathan Cleary, obviously no one really plays like Nathan Cleary, but Mitchell Moses has some of the same attributes in terms of like the kicking and all that sort of stuff, goal kicking. Whereas Nico Hines, like the defense, like obviously the defense lets him down, but also like the big game experience. Mitchell Moses has played for New South Wales. He played in the grand final. Obviously he's lost those games, so don't know if you want to really count them. But I guess like on paper he is someone who has some experience in some big games. So I don't know. I think Mitchell Moses will thrive on it. I don't think if New South Wales lose this one, I don't think it's on Mitchell Moses, and I think the media will spin it that way, but I don't think that will be the case. But honestly, I think where the game's going to be won, and like it will be won in the spine, to be honest, like with Damien Cook coming in and Reece Robinson off the bench and all that sort of stuff. But I actually think the bench is probably where the game will be won, and just the forward packs. I think New South Wales have a very strong bench in terms of Cam Murray and Liam Martin, but they are arguably, I mean, Payne Haas is there as well. Depends if they actually play Payne Haas or if they just playing for like one spell. How they use Payne Haas instead of Origin, I don't quite understand. Hudson Young played like 30 minutes for a back rower. It baffles me why your two best back rowers are coming off the bench. I don't understand that. But yeah, Queensland have a very, very good rotation going, and I think they can just keep battering New South Wales all game. And I feel like with the home crowd with them, I don't like New South Wales' chances of sort of rolling Queensland. And I think they need to do that to sort of get the best out of the backs. And I don't know, I feel like Latrell and Tommy and all that, they'll get in there, and Brian Toy is a big one, James Tedesco, they'll get in there and they'll do the hard yards. They'll get New South Wales out of trouble. I'm not a big fan of this forward pack for New South Wales, and I am a fan of the Queensland forward pack. I'm just a fan of the Queensland side in general. They got a lot of strike weapons, and then they've also got some good defence. They're just, like I said, a very well-balanced side. That's probably the best way to put it. I know I'm repeating myself at this point, but that's all that can really be said. Queensland plays with spirit, and they're a well-balanced side. Like, if you played them on a video game, they probably wouldn't be some of the most highly rated players or anything like that, but they just seem to get the job done. And there's just, like, you can't underestimate the element of playing in front of a home crowd. And that's something New South Wales have really struggled with over the last couple of years. I think I saw some stat where, like, New South Wales haven't played a home game in, like, 5 or 6 games. That's a long time in State of Origin, considering there's only 3 games a year. So I think New South Wales kind of screw themselves when they don't play in front of home crowds and they take games away. But, hey, that seems to be how things are at the moment. But, yeah, I don't like New South Wales' chances. I think Queensland come out and win this one. I think they probably end up winning like 1-12 realistically. Would not be surprised at all if Queensland come out and blow them away, or even if New South Wales, if they win, New South Wales need to win 13 plus. They don't win these close games. That's just not how the game goes. Not how State of Origin goes for New South Wales anyways. If it's close, you best believe Queensland's going to win it. So if we get into the 60, 70th minute mark, probably going to tip Queensland, like if it's a couple points in it. Just go with Queensland. It's a safe bet there. New South Wales need to come out and blow them off the park initially, get the crowd out of it, and then just try and halt the momentum. Anytime Queensland get any sort of momentum, either hit back or just stop it. Because I feel like once Queensland gets some momentum, they'll sort of get going. But New South Wales also have the ability with some of the players they've got to really get going. I mean, look at Mitchell Moses. He is someone in particular that he's been described as a bit of a flat track bully, and that's because he can pile on the points very, very quickly. We saw that against the Bulldogs. Look at him, destroyed Tavita Pengai, who was in the New South Wales side. He shouldn't have been, but he was in there. Honestly, he shouldn't even be in my Bulldogs side, but that's a whole different story. Yeah, look, in terms of a scoreline, I think Queensland win 1-12. I think it would be like a fairly high scoring game for a State of Origin game, I should say. We've seen some big scores in terms of the NRL, so that's where I kind of had to just change my tune a little bit. But I think it's going to be an entertaining game. I don't know if it'll be free-flowing, but I think we'll see some nice tries, some great attacking tries. When you've got guys like, the Fox, and you've got Latrell, you've got Tommy, Brian Toyo, Tedesco, the whole New South Wales backline. I mean, look at the try the Hammer scored. It just literally came from nothing, and I think that's what we'll see. I think we'll see a few tries scored from absolutely nothing, and I think it's going to be entertaining. We might break a few TVs in frustration, go, how did they score that? But look, I think it's going to be a very entertaining game. Queensland to win, first try scorer. I'm actually going to go with the Hammer. I can see it happening again, maybe like from a little grubber or something. Anytime try scorers, I think Josh Adokar will score, and I think Latrell will score. I think they will go down that side a lot. They did last time. Tommy barely even touched the ball. So actually having Latrell there, it sort of showed that probably was the tactic that they were going for. Obviously, they just didn't have Latrell there anymore, and they didn't deviate away from it, unless Mitchell Moses sort of takes over. But then the other side, it's Tommy. So I think New South Wales can score plenty of points. It's just a matter of the bench and also just how they use the bench. I'm really intrigued to see how Reece Robson goes, whether he gets much game time. You'd imagine he will, but I don't know. He's not someone I would have picked, not someone anyone else would have picked probably. But hey, that's Brad Fittler for you. So look, end of the story. I'm going Queensland to win 1-12. First try scorer, I went with the Hammer. Let me know in the comment section below. What is your scoreline? Who do you think is going to win? Do you like my tips and predictions? I know it's kind of vague. Also, man of the match. I should mention man of the match. I'm going to go with Daly Cherry Evans. I don't know if he'll particularly be like the best player in the field, but I feel like he'll be someone they'll give it to. Or maybe Paddy Carrigan. Let's go Paddy Carrigan. I think Carrigan will have a big one in front of his home crowd at the Broncos and also for Queensland. So yeah, Paddy Carrigan to get man of the match. Anyways, I'm going to wrap things up here. Hopefully you guys did enjoy that one. If you did, make sure you go ahead and smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Obviously, the more likes, the better. The more growth for the channel. I'm on the road to 15,000 subscribers. So if you can leave a like, it grow the channel more, get me more subscribers, and hopefully I can hit 15k pretty bloody soon. So go ahead, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, go ahead and chuck me a follow on social media. It's on the screen right now. It's Mr. Luke on YT. That's my TikTok, Instagram, all that sort of stuff. Twitter. I think there's one more. I can't remember. Doesn't matter. Just give me a follow, give me an ad. And also, one last thing. If you'd like to become a member and support the channel even further than just leaving a like or subscribing, you can go ahead and become a member. You're seeing all the members on the screen right now. Shout out to every single one of you guys. We're also seeing the super chatters as well. They are just as important. In fact, like in some ways, like more important. They are been getting some real big ones from Sporty Man. So shout out to Sporty Man. Much love to you, Techno as well. We've seen Mac Galaxy. We've seen Aurelia. Seen a fair few people. Mishi, come back, Mishi. Seen a fair few people in the past leaving some big super chats. So shout out to every single one of you guys, and also shout out if you got to this far in the video. So look, thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more content on the channel. I know it's very early to be doing predictions, but I think that's the beauty of it. Let's just see how things go. Like, we're a week out, so see if things change, see if people pull out. We'll just see how things go. So look, stay tuned for more, and I'll see you in the next one. See yous.